What is up, YouTube? I've been watching a lot of those videos about the YouTube accent, the TikTok accent. Actually, it was TikTok accent, not YouTube accent. I don't know why. I feel like I sound really loud, but I think it's just really quiet in my room. So, whatever. Anyway, they were talking about like how British people who are famous TikTokers have like this new version of like the transatlantic accent, and I think it's like really weird because like it doesn't sound like the I really wish I could do it, but you know the like those old-timey like movies that like have the transatlantic accent, it doesn't sound like that. It's like I think they just honestly I feel like they sound American, like they don't, or like a country that I would think is a Commonwealth, but not the UK and not Australia. Like I feel like they sound like I guess like maybe South Africans or something. I don't know. They just it's whatever. That's off topic. Anyway, I just wanted to make a video because I have not made one in a long time. Um YouTube says 3 weeks, which seems not accurate, but I guess that is accurate because like last time I made a video, I was about to go to orientation, which means like I had just gotten back here, which is crazy because it seems like that was a long time ago. Like I feel like I was on vacation like 3 months ago already. Um, but yeah, that I guess that's not a bad thing, but it's weird because time has been going by really fast and really slow at the same time because like today I was like teaching fourth graders and I was like, what day is it? And they were like, it's the 18th. And I was like, the 18th? Like that seems wrong, but it is the 18th. Like I don't know, time is just like going by really quickly. Like I feel like they just started school, but yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna do like a update video, I guess. Um, so the first thing is orientation. Like I went to orientation and it was in Daejeon, which was nice because it is pretty close. And when I got there, I saw this other teacher that, like, we've been doing orientations for the last like 2, 3 times. And like, I knew her from when I went on the Dokdo trip. So, like, I literally met her like 7 years ago on the Dokdo trip, which is crazy. But yeah, so come to find out, she lives in she lives like 15 minutes away from me. Like we live in the same. Like she lives in the dong that I used to live in. That's like insane. But anyway, um yeah, it was nice because she ended up giving me a ride back here and I didn't have to take the bus, which would have like kind of sucked. But yeah, she has that car that runs on hydrogen, which is like really cool, honestly. Like I feel like when I was a kid, they were like, we're gonna make hydrogen cars, and I was like, that'd be awesome, but like they probably can never do it. But I guess they've done it, so that's cool. I really don't know how like I feel like in Korea it's really easy to have like electric cars or like alternative fuel cars because like Korea's not that big, and like they're like she fueled that car up at the rest area because you know like the rest areas have like the little, well, like in Korea the rest area has like a gas station, and then they also have a charging station, and then they have like the hydrogen like fueling station, and I guess like LPG too. Like LPG is like really common. I feel like a lot of people have an LPG car, and like all the taxis have to be LPG. LPG. That's right. Liquid propane gas. Yeah, they have to be LPG or electric. So, like, yeah, there's always like a station for that, but it's really weird. Like, it's kind of weird, like as an American, because like I feel like no, but there's no like LPG cars, and like even like electric cars. I mean, like in the Midwest, I feel like electric cars aren't that common. So yeah, except people who have like their little Teslas. And after my friend said the white ones look like a boiled egg, like a peeled boiled egg. Like I can't unsee it. Um, but anyway, yeah, she lives in the same town. So like 2 weekends ago, I guess that was, we went to like the Chojong Spring, and so I used to work near there, and then I think just like because I worked near there, like there I didn't want to go back on the weekend, and it's like out of the way. Like I think there's a bus that goes like near enough to it, but it's like that is like the middle of nowhere kind of. So you kind of want to go there in a car. But anyway, we went to it, and like I had gone to the what is it? The like Hangung, like it was like a temporary palace where like I guess like King Sejong had some eye disease, and like the water healed his eyes because it's like mineral carbonated water. Um and like I always get that the like carbonated water, um just the drink, just the water, and then the Chanyeon cider is like made with that water, or used to be made with that water. I think they don't make it with that water anymore. Not sure about that, but anyway, yeah, that water is special. So like it's like a nice bathhouse because like the water's special. And you can like feel it like when you like there's like a little spout of it because like you can only feel the carbonation when it's not hot. So like there's like a little cold water that you can like splash, and then there's like a bath that is all like cold sparkling water, and like girl, it's too cold. Like I can't go in it, and it wasn't even like very cold. It wasn't like Nangtang. It wasn't like the very cold one. It was just like too cold for me. Like I cannot go in there. And it's funny because like my friend is like, oh, my ancestors were like Vikings, so like the cold water was like fine for her, but then like the hot one, she could not put her feet into it, and I was just like up to here in it. So I don't know, I feel like that's kind of like somewhat genetic, a little bit of like if you can tolerate like hot or cold or whatever, because yeah, like for me, like I don't go, the little ice room that people are like, oh, I like the ice room like after I've been sweating. No, I cannot go in there. And like I have a traumatic event where I went into the cold water. I try to do that thing where you like you like are warm, and then you like get into the cold water and it like tightens your pores or whatever. It's supposed to be good for you. My legs went numb. Like I could not feel my legs, and I seriously thought I was about to have a medical event, and I just like waited until I could feel my legs again, and then I got in the hot water and warmed up, and then I left. So yeah, I don't really the cold water is not my friend anymore. I do not go in there at all. But I got real sidetracked with the water. But yes, so we went there, and then there was like this room that had like burning firewood that you can like stoke this fire, like this oven, and there's a sign that's like real faded. It's been there for like centuries, it looks like, and it's like, oh, like back in the day, like women used to like work by the fire and they didn't get any like like lady diseases down there. And I was like, that sounds fake because it's just like smoke. Like I don't, because it wasn't like the thing where you sit over the like mugwort bath and it steams your like cat, which like I don't recommend because I did that once, never again. It's really hot in an area that I don't think likes being that hot. But I guess if you have something happening there, it's probably therapeutic. But there was nothing going on there, and it was hot for me, so not again. But yeah, we went in there, and it was kind of nice. It kind of smelled like a campfire, and yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's like I read somewhere that like sitting by a campfire is the equivalent of like smoking 10 cigarettes or something. So I was like, oh, okay. But I mean, it's not like I go to campfires like all the time, so I think it's fine. But yeah. Anyway, back to orientation. Besides that, I met her at orientation. Oh, and then after that, we went to this like little farm that's literally also next to my school, and my students brought me yogurt from that farm before. But they have like cheese and like all kinds of like dairy stuff, and they have cows. And yeah, I fed the cows grass, but it was a little bit scary, not gonna lie. Their tongues just like come out like they're like really gentle, but it's also like really just kind of scary because they're like really snotty and like slimy, but like they're still kind of cute. But yeah, the cows are intense. Um and like the yogurt was really good. It was really good. Um but back to orientation. Yeah, I did that little video of the room. The room was pretty decent. And then that that university had like really good food, which like I did not know was like not a common thing because I feel like my orientation, I feel like the food was pretty good. Like I feel like we had, I mean, there was like maybe 1 or 2 days where I was like, but it was like the menu, not like the food itself, you know. But the last time I went, the orientation that was in Danyang, the food was abysmal. Like that was horrid. Like that was bad. And then Jeonju, Jeonju, I didn't eat because there was too many. Like there were so many people in line that I couldn't get to the food, and we just ate rolling pasta. So I don't know if Jeonju's food was good or bad, but did not eat it. Um, but like this one was good. They had like a good menu and like the quality was good. I don't know why this glare is here, but whatever. Whatever. And the new teachers are mostly from South Africa, surprisingly. Like I don't like I kind of know why, but I kind of was like a little bit surprised at like the sheer volume of teachers that are from South Africa. But like I guess some of the reason is like the pay here is not like that competitive for people who are coming from like the US or UK and Australia, I think. I really don't know how the Australian dollar is doing, but anyway, like for those countries, like it's not really like that much of an incentive to come. So like they like South Africa, like because I knew someone from South Africa, and like the money here is like worth more, like when you change it to rand. I don't know, but anyway, like this job is like way better than any job you could get. Not any job, but you know what I mean. Like the common job you can get there is like more money. So, and a lot of people like that are from South Africa that I know told me that like they don't really want to like be there. That sounds so bad. Like I'm not from their country, so I feel like I'm just like shitting on their country. But you know what I mean? Like they told me that they don't like living there, and they told me about like crime and stuff, and like them telling me made me like not want to go. And then like some of them will turn around and be like, oh, it's great, you should go visit. And I'm like, you just told me about like a person getting like killed by a hippopotamus. You told me about like, you know, people getting stabbed in front of your face and like getting robbed on the regular. But then you're like, oh hey, you should go. Like I don't know, like I feel conflicted. Like I don't think I really want to go to South Africa. It's also like just really far. It's really far. And like I don't know. I've had like some bad experiences. That's for another video, I guess. But I've had some bad experiences with like some people from South Africa that like some of it had nothing to do with them being South African, but like two of them it did, because it was kind of like a racial thing. But like the racial dynamics in South Africa and America are way, way different. And like the things that people get mad about are different just because like their experience, and they cannot conceptualize it being different than what they experience. Because like I don't know, it's like it's not the same. There's things like just like I guess the like TLDR of what happened with like one person is that we were like at this party that was like a little braai, you know, little South African barbecue, and everything was fun, and like, you know, people were chill. I met this girl that I could like barely pronounce her name because she had like a little in there, and it was like really hard for me to say it. I got it one time. I was like so happy. But anyway, like we were hanging out. It was fun. And then this one girl started to get kind of drunk, and then she was like, I really want to go with you guys, because we were just gonna go to like buy a coffee and take a walk. And when we went outside, we had just bought the coffee, and we come outside, she's like eating ice cream. That's not relevant, but anyway, she like, we were outside, and then this like white lady like walks past us, and then she was like yelling something at the white lady, and the lady like turned around, and we were like, we're sorry, our friend's kind of drunk. And then she was like, oh, it's fine, like I don't really like take offense to it. And I was like, yeah, it's whatever. And we were just like, oh, do you like work around here or whatever, like just small talk, right? And then after she leaves, the South African girl was like really pissed at us. She was like, how dare you not take my back? You guys aren't like real. Like you guys didn't defend me. That's the problem with Americans. And I was like, what do you mean? Like you like yelled like rude stuff at this lady. You can't do that. And she was like, yeah, but like you did that. Like you shouldn't be like, like I guess like stooping down to these white people or something like that. And we were like, dude, like we're from America. Like you can't really, I mean, like, first of all, it's rude. Like what you're talking about is rude. But the second is like, if I did that in America, like, and not knowing the person that I was talking to, like that could be dangerous. And she has no concept of that, like potentially being dangerous. Like, yeah. But anyway, a lot of people are from South Africa, and they were like really cool. And there are a lot of Gen Z. I think actually technically all the teachers are Gen Z except for like 2 in my group. And the Gen Z teachers are like, again, like from last orientation, they're like, they have like positives where they're like trying to be really prepared, and like a lot of the teachers had teaching experience before this job. So like I feel like that in some ways they're like a lot more active in trying to like figure out what they should do, but like they also are kind of like naive and like don't really understand a lot of things that I feel are like pretty basic. And like because of that, I don't think that orientation gives them enough information that they need, because like a lot of the questions they asked me, because I told them they could ask me some questions privately after we did our like the feedback and stuff, and like people asked me questions about like, and not just me, but they've asked my supervisor as well about like how to use the bank, and not like just specifically like a Korean bank. They just like, they don't know how to use an ATM. They don't know how, like they have not done anything for themselves before, which like I kind of feel is a little bit weird, I guess. And like I feel like this is like, I feel like millennials are the new boomers, right? But like I feel like it's like really boomer of me, but I'm like, when you like went to college, didn't you have to like do something for yourself? Like why is this like weird, like a new concept to you? Like I don't know, like Google it. I feel like they have Google, but then they don't actually Google stuff, so I really don't know. But orientation is not, and I mean I understand they have like they have like 2 weeks to like do everything and like have a little field trip and all this stuff. They only have 2 weeks. I understand that, but like there's some stuff that they need to know, and I think like some of it they don't tell them, because if they were like, oh hey, by the way, you're gonna go to like the middle of nowhere, like some people would just back out like during orientation. So like I get why they don't disclose all the information to them right away, but some of the information I was like, you guys listen. That's because one guy was like, he's like, oh, so like how many other teachers will be at my school? And I was like, well, your school might be like a little school, like if you're in the countryside, like your school might only have like maybe 10 or 15 teachers. And if your school is like a big school, there could be like 80 teachers even. And he was like, oh wow, so like how many foreign teachers? And I was like, you. And he was like, what? And I was like, you're the foreign teacher. And he was like shaken, and I'm like, honey, they didn't tell you? Like what? Like I don't know, like I was feeling like kind of shook, to be honest, that like some of the stuff that they asked me and didn't know. And like I'm meeting them the day before they meet their co-teacher and get shipped out. And they were asking me questions like how long should I lesson plan for? And I was like, I mean, until it's done, like, yeah, I don't know. And then like they were asking me like, oh, what's gonna happen tomorrow? And I was like, well, I don't know your schedule. What are you supposed to do tomorrow? And they're like, I'm gonna meet my co-teacher. And I'm like, oh, well, your co-teacher will probably like give you a ride to your new place, and if your co-teacher is nice, they'll like help you buy some stuff. And they were like, okay, but like they have no idea. They had no idea what was coming for them. And like I felt really bad because I think my group was mostly Chungnam, I think. And there was like Chungnam and some maybe Jeonbuk, something like that. They had like a few people that weren't. And oh my gosh, I was like, they were like, oh, like, what do you think, like, my school will be like? And I was like, listen, I don't know. You might have a little school. You might have like a big school. Like, I really don't know where you're going in those provinces. Like, honestly, like, welcome to the Jibangs, bitch. Like, you might be at like little tiny dinky schools. And like, recently, like, schools have been, like, my school shrank since I worked there. Like, when I first worked there was each grade had like maybe 4 or 5. Some of them had 5 classes, so 4 or 5 classes for each grade. But now, this year I have 4 classes that have 4 or 3. Yeah, 4 or 3 bonds. And then like second graders, there's only 2. There's only 2 classes for second graders. There's only 2 classes for first graders. So like, and the like it's shrinking. Like they're just like actively shrinking. And like third grade has 4. I don't know, something happened that year. They're okay, but there's less and less students. So I mean, the likelihood that your class will be small or school will be small is like bigger and bigger the more like further away you're from like a big city. So, and I mean, this is like inside of a city, so I can't imagine. I mean, like the school that I worked in that was like outside of the city, there was like 47 kids in the whole school or something like that, like including kindergarten. So yeah, that's real. That's happening. I will get to other stuff at the part 3 of this video. It's already getting long. I hope you have snacks. Anyway, second Ibu is spring is kind of mid, to be honest. Like I feel like I should like spring more than I do, because it's like literally my nickname from like my parents, and because my birthday, and like I really like flowers. I like flowers a lot, but spring is kind of like for me. The yellow dust warnings have already started. My phone was like, do not go outside without a mask, or like check the weather because the dust is bad. So like I wanted to open my window today while I was at work, so it would just like refresh the air, but the dust is not it. Like it will like cover, like you will just have the dust everywhere. So yeah, I won't be doing that. And I was kind of having like a little bit of an allergic reaction to something outside, but it's gone now, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And then like the spring fashion is like all pastel. Like it's all pastel. Like I went to like I was in downtown. I was like, I'm just gonna like look through the stores, but there was like way too many people on Saturday. Like I realized I usually don't go shopping on Saturday. I usually just go shopping after work, and there's like significantly less people out and about on a weeknight. So, but everything is like really pastel and like frilly, which like I like frills when they're not pastel or white. And I also like get like light colored clothes dirty so easily. Like I need to stop by, like I need to never buy any more like white or like light colored tops at least, because I wore a light colored top last Thursday, I think, and I got it so dirty. Like I got dirt on the sleeves, I got dirt like all up on here, and then I like spilled food on myself, and I was like, I shouldn't be wearing this. But yeah, everything's like really like pastel, and like not just like pink pastel, like there's just like blue green, like the like Eastery looking colors, but like I don't like that fashion, so I'm like, this is kind of mid, like the shopping's not that fun. um and like it's getting warmer, so like I like that because I don't like the cold. Like I'm like, yay, it's getting warmer, but like I feel like the clothes that you wear now is like a weird amount of layers for me, because it's like if you wear a heat tech you will sweat, but if you like just wear a sweatshirt on its own you will freeze, so it's like that weird between type temperature. And then like I guess tonight it's gonna drop like low and rain, and then tomorrow it's gonna like warm back up, so it's like that like dumb up and down thing. So I like kind of don't like it, but whatever. It's getting warmer, so I'm not really that mad about it. But I mean, it could be summer and like everyone's sweating to death, but yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like it's more socially acceptable to like not go outside when it's summer because it's hot, but not going outside when it's nice out is like, what are you doing with your life? And I'm like, well, nothing, obviously. But anyway, yeah. And then the fashion that's like on trend, I guess, that I like everyone was like wearing is like, I call it like the Korean version of the office siren. It's like Oxford shirt, either like really huge oversized one or cropped one or like whatever, with like the little like black like bustier kind of thing over it, and then like a really tiny skirt. Also like ultra micro skirts are back, which like I cannot wear because they would just like show my cheeks. But like the like very like this like almost like unbelievably short skirt is back. I don't know. Not will not be participating. And then like the idol looking like office siren, I will not be participating because first of all, white shirts and me like aforementioned, no. And then it's like, I don't know, it seems very like it's oversaturated. It's like everybody's doing it, which I know like most trends in Korea, yeah, like everybody does them. But I mean, this one is like very, 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 very saturated. Like this is like the female equivalent of like just the guy that wears the long padded jacket with the Adidas slides and gray sweatpants. Like this is the equivalent of that, but for like girls in warmer weather. It's really annoying. So I'm just like, yeah, I won't be participating. Um, and then yeah, that's all I have about spring. Anyway, next thing is kind of serious, I guess, and like I don't know. I anyway, let's just get into it. The last section I titled Korea Scandals. Um, and the first one is people are getting measles. I had to check that because I forgot what disease it was. People are getting measles, which like we almost eradicated measles, guys. Like just get the MMR when you're a child. I don't know, but I have we reached the like age where like there are people who hit that like anti-vax wave that are adults now? Cuz that's kind of scary, cuz I heard my dad said that people were getting measles like in the States too. And like I guess it's like worse because like I guess when people like immigrate like and from like a country that like has measles going on, and they like give people measles, like if you're unvaccinated you just get it, right? So yeah, I don't know. I've been vaccinated, so I'm not. I'm just like, well, sucks to suck. And like, I guess they had to be in quarantine while they had the measles. They were in quarantine for like 2 or 3 weeks or something, like almost a month. It sounds like trash. So yeah, stay up on your vaccines, I guess. Um, the other scandal is the doctor strike. Um, and we are approaching week 4 of the doctor strike. So I guess they were striking before I went to orientation, which I guess I didn't know about it yet because maybe the strike hadn't like picked up full speed. It definitely was starting to pick up um that week after I came back, because like it was in the news that doctors were striking, or they were thinking about striking or something like that. But they are striking, which like I don't feel like I'm not opposed to striking, but I'm opposed to like striking in a way that like people get hurt when you do strike. Like I feel like for certain professions, if you are striking, you have to do something differently. Like I know it's really famous, but like the Japanese bus drivers were striking, and then they still drove the buses, but they didn't take any money because they didn't want like everyone to not be able to go to work and stuff like that. Like I kind of feel like that's the type of strike that would need to happen if you're a doctor, because like if there's no doctor, like you are actually causing danger, which like it's really serious at this point. Like it's not like at first it was like, oh, they're striking, like it kind of sucks, but like whatever. It's actually like having an effect at this point. Um and like I guess anyway, I should say like they're striking about the admissions because they want to increase the amount of like doctors in training that will be admitted per year. And so they feel like the competition is gonna like have a negative effect on their incomes, and I guess ultimately the patient's well-being. But like from this strike, it seems like that's not the main issue. Just saying. But um yeah, there's actual like medical disruption. Like if you people so like people I know that said they had like an elective surgery coming up, it's been canceled because they're like, the doctor that would do this isn't there. So like it has actually like started to affect people. And last week I was walking past like a smaller hospital, not like a really huge it's like big enough that they have like patients that stay there and sleep, but it's not like a huge hospital. um that hospital was taking beds out of the hospital, and it was like regular hours. Like it wasn't like after hours. It's not like I was walking past there at like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or something like that. It was like literal, like they're like Yongupchigan, and like they were just like taking beds out of the hospital that were like stripped down, like they'd taken the linens off of them and they were like taking them out, and it was like just workers, not like movers or anything. It was like nurses taking these beds out and like packing them into a truck. I don't know what that means for that hospital. Like, I don't know if they were taking the beds out because they are accepting less patients, or did another hospital not have enough beds and they're like loaning them for whatever reason. I really have no idea. But like that was really bizarre to see, because I was like, it's like, is it really getting that bad? And then like maybe like a day or so after that, they were like, the Korean government will be deploying military doctors to major hospitals to take in for faculty who are striking. So yeah, so like the big university, the like biggest university hospital here is like literally only running because there's military doctors there right now. Like if they weren't there, that hospital would be like basically shut. And I know another person. I don't really know him personally because I haven't, he's been sick the entire time that I would have potentially known him. And I think I might have seen him one time but didn't know who he was. But he's like this like elderly man who like can't eat, I guess, and like, obviously that makes you more and more sick. And so he was hospitalized, and at the one time the hospital was just closed and he had to go home for like a few days because the hospital was closed. And now like he's at the hospital, but like the staff is less, and like they only feed him because he can only like eat through like the like tube or whatever. They're only feeding him like every other day because there's not staff that are like qualified to feed him or something. I don't know, but I'm like, it's really like, I honestly did not. I was like on my way home and I was like, oh, I could just like take a cacao bike, like that would cut my time in half to get back to my house. No, I'm not getting on anything with wheels for a little while because I don't want to go to the emergency room and they'd be like, oh, we can't like put a cast on you because nobody can do it. So honestly, it's that bad. It's that bad. Like, it's not funny. It's really bad. Like, it's really kind of like scary a little bit because like I always just expect that the hospital is like there, you know what I'm saying? And like I guess like the professors are like thinking about resigning. I saw on the news today that there's a like professors that are just like, we're gonna resign if like nothing changes. So if they resign, like I don't think, like, I mean, if I was a hospital and you resigned, I don't think I would like hire you back on if you just like, just kidding, like, would not. The other thing is like one of our pastors had like a stroke on Friday, and usually our town has like 3 stroke centers, and because of the strikes we're down to like 1. Well, I guess it's technically like 1.5 because there's another one that is, but they're like expert, like their like faculty doctor is striking. So they do have like the facility, but the main person is there. So there's 1.5 now, which like is honestly really scary because like strokes are like the kind of thing where time matters, and like if the distance, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just don't like this situation at all. It's like, it's scary. Like, I don't know what Korea's gonna do about this, but they need to hurry up because it's not like I get it. Like, I know like a lot of countries even before the pandemic were like struggling with like their medical staff and like them being underpaid or like overworked and stuff like that, but like this doesn't work either. I don't know. I really need to watch like them do an expose, but they haven't really been like talking about it in detail on the news. Um, like every time I see like the little JTBC things, the little clips are only like, maybe 10 or 20 minutes, and then they're just talking about like the fact that they are striking and that like hospitals don't like have the resources or people that they used to. So I'm just like, I don't really understand this whole situation. Like, I really need more information about like why this is happening and like all that. But yeah, don't like it. Don't get hurt. Don't get sick right now in Korea. Y'all aren't in Korea probably, but you know what I mean? Like, don't. Um, but yeah, that's all. Why am I doing this like I'm doing some like presentation in class? That's my presentation. Yeah, that's all I have. I'm gonna go make my little girl dinner because I feel too lazy to like make something of substance, and I also have an avocado that is like about to not be good. So, girl dinner. Yeah, that's all. This video was 40 minutes. if you watch this whole video, leave an emoji. Leave an emoji. Leave yellow emojis if you watched until the end. Only OGs will do it. Sorry. I'm gonna stop watching so much YouTube and hurting my eyes. I'm gonna read my like manga collection that needs to be like read. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Bye.